Hello guys, welcome once again to Data Rant. So we're going to continue with our Getting Started with Power BI series. And in the part one of this series, we considered how to read in data from an Excel file and from a CSV file. And in this part, we're going to focus on reading in data from the web. And that's what we're going to do in this video. So stay tuned. Okay, so the very last one that we want to look at is reading data from the web. So we are going to consider worldometers, worldometer.com. So we want to get data from here. So let's pay attention to, like the coronavirus update data. Great. So we want to read this data into our Power BI desktop, and we can easily read it from the web. So going back to our Power BI desktop, we're going to select get data, and we can from here just pick web because that's what we want to get the data from. So we just select web, and the next thing is for us to put in the URL of the particular address that we want to get the data from. So we just come back to Power BI, copy this, and go back to the Power BI and put in the URL. So we have like the basic and the advanced. The advanced is maybe we want to get into like more detailed things from that particular site, but for now we'll just work with the basic. So we're just going to load the data that we have from this particular site. So it's going to go to the site and pull all the possible tables that it can find from that site. All right, so it's actually loading the tables, and Power BI basically reads in data like in a very tabular structure. So so most of the data that will be read in here will actually look like in a tabular structure, right? So great. So the tables are loaded right now, and like we always do, it's always advisable for us to look through the table one after the other, and just to be sure that this is the data we want. Okay, so these are like country and other, and we have like total number of cases, total number of new cases, total deaths, and it's all ordered by country. And then we have all of this, and then we also have like continents at the other end. So this looks like what we really want from here, right? Let's look at the next table. So this table, it's very similar to the previous one, but it looks like the number of cases are a bit different. So this is like 2.9 million cases, while table one, that was like 2.91. This is like 2.94. So this is like more than the previous one. So I think this is a more updated version of the data. So just to confirm that what you really want is right, you might want to look at the site again just to be sure. So 2.94, this is the one from our first table, while 2.91, where is it from? Okay, so if you look very closely from this side, we have now and yesterday, and now is 2.94. Let's look at yesterday. So yesterday is 2.91, so that's where the other table is loaded from. So very likely we want to work with the most recent data we have. So we're going to stick to this, and this is like as at yesterday, and this is as at today, just to clarify that. So let's check the other tables. All right, so basically it looks like the same thing, but without headers, without titles. So I'm not sure that's the data we want to work with, except we have a pretty understanding of what that is. Same thing here, same thing with this other table. So if you're loading it from a website, you might have like loads of tables that you may not really need. So you really need to look through the different tables and know exactly what you want to get from that site, so that you can know the kind of data to pay attention to. So it looks like we won't be needing, all of these other suggested tables. Our attention is just going to be on these first two tables. So this is as at yesterday, and this is as at today. So that's table one. But we're just going to load table one and see how it looks. Now, if you look at this, you also see that there's a web view when you're trying to load from the website. So it tries to give you like the web representation of the data. So this is the web view of the exact data, which is almost like the same thing as the site. Yes, and this is like the tabular view. So this is what your Power BI will take in. So let's select today's data, and then we're going to try to transform the data to see if there are any changes we need to make before loading it to our Power BI desktop. So it brings us to the Power Query editor. And you can see, like we've already established in the previous ways of reading data from different sources, so you want to check to confirm that your data types are right. So this looks fine for like the countries, number of cases. Yeah, it's actually whole number, which is fine. New cases, total deaths, this looks good. Now total recovered is actually a text which is supposed to be numbers, because it's actually the number of total recovered, but it looks like the not available has made it to be rendered as text. So we could try to change that into whole numbers, and let's see what we have. So it's asking you to select this. Would you like to replace the existing conversion or preserve the existing conversion and add the new conversion as a separate step? So I would always advise to add it as a new step. So in case that didn't work, you can always delete that step. So changing it to that, so you see we have few errors because this place we're actually seen as text, written as text like NA. Oh yeah, so that's like there's an error there. So there might be a particular way to fix this, either by changing all of the NA here to 0, or just changing it to blank and then try to fix that. So you might want to take out this step again to take us back to how it was as text, and then we can try to replace these values. But let's check other data types too. So the active cases and numbers, that's fine. This is fine. Now this is great. Decimal, whole numbers. Yeah, so everything here looks great, but there is something you would also notice, that in this other one we see like a green and a gray, demarcation. Now this basically tries to tell us that these columns are not totally populated, in the sense that we have like null values. So the gray kind of tells us that we have this number of empty rows in this particular column, while this says we have like the filled number of columns. So if you see, we have like 100 value, that's 44% with data, and then we have 128 empty. They're actually null. About 56% of the rows in this column are actually empty. So it depends on how you want to deal with your null values, depending on the kind of data that you got and the kind of analysis you want to do. You might want to keep that, you may not want to keep that. So it all depends on how you want to deal with that. Yeah, so we can see that most of the columns have null values, and we might want to try to pay attention to how that is being fixed. So when you're trying to, correct like your data right now, like in this situation where total recovered is actually text instead of number because of this. So we might try to replace this with whatever thing will be fit before loading our data. Well, this will not be covered in today's video, so we'll try to look at that in some other video. Basically, I just wanted to show us how we can load data into Power BI desktop. So now you can basically just do your close and apply, and it's going to load the data into your Power BI desktop, and you will be able to start building your visuals from here. So once this is complete, you will see that the new table will be loaded here in your Power BI desktop. Right, that's table 1. So you have all the tables that we've actually loaded into the Power BI desktop here, and from here you can start your visualization proper. Alright guys, so thank you so much for staying through to the end of this video. Basically, I just wanted to show how we can read in data from multiple sources into Power BI. We're not supposed to dive deep into, like how to start displaying the data in today's video, but in subsequent videos, we'll dig deep into that. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please click the like button and try to share with friends, and let's see how we can learn about using this tool together, and you wouldn't want to miss the other transformations that I'll be doing with this data using Power BI. So you need to be amongst the first to get an alert once the new video is up. So all you need to do is just click that subscribe button, and you will see like a bell button by its side. Just click so that once a new video drops, you'll be notified immediately. Thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed yet, you have to subscribe first. Thank you so much for spending time watching this video, and I'll hopefully see you in my next video. Bye for now.